What's going on, everybody? ETHDenver 2025 here, and we're with John, the one and only who put this thing together in the first place. I gotta ask a question. This to me is the most important thing. Why?
So back when I first was exploring blockchain technology, I didn't know where to start, so I went to a meetup. And the meetup in Denver for Ethereum was about, 20, 30 people. It was really small. And in the spring of 2017, though, it grew to like 500. And then I got really excited about it because I'm like, wow, I started thinking about use cases and things we could build, but then nobody that I know knew how to code Solidity, and I couldn't find anybody that knew how to do it. So I had an idea, and I took it to the organizers of the meetup, and I said, hey guys, I got to know these guys, right? So good guys, Ken, Corey, and Sasha. And I said, we should do a hackathon. And we could bring people in from out of town to help teach it, because nobody here knows how to do it. Right. And they're like, Denver and all. I said, no, Denver's great. Like, why not? Why not us? And if not us, who? And if not now, when?
Yeah.
And why not? So it kind of started as a YOLO. Might as well. And selfishly, I wanted to find some devs to like build some things. Yeah. And one thing led to another. We aimed for like 300 to 400 people the first year round, or the first in 2018, and it ended up being 1,500 people. So we struck a nerve, and then it sort of took on a life of its own. I mean, I equate it to raising a child.
Okay.
Where, at some point, it just kind of
has to run on its own.
It goes on its own. It's not, none of this is even about me at all anymore. It never really was about me, but it's really not about me. So what are we doing now is we've evolved it into the world's largest Web3 live action crypto experiment.
It's working. I got to tell you, it's working.
Some things work really well. Yeah. Other things need optimizing. It's a constant iteration and evolution. And how do we stay ahead of the curve? And how do we, show people what's possible? I think that's what it's really become now, is like almost like an exercise in futurism. Yeah. Like but not just talking, but walking, right? How do we do this? And the idea is to create a template that people could follow to decentralize all the things. So this event is hopefully on the path to do that.
I love that. I mean, talk about winning and making sure things happen. I mean, we went from 1,500 just 7 years ago to tens of thousands. Yeah. That's a huge accomplishment. And I get the fact that it's not you alone. And I super appreciate that. And the fact that you say that, I think is the reason why we have so many incredible people here. It's because you are allowing others to lead the charge in so many different areas. But you relinquished control, and you created this DAO on this. That's what I'm saying. Why did you go that route?
So we went the route. So we called our leadership style, or our operational execution style, stewardship. So it's not about power and top-down control. I have a responsibility to maintain operational alignment with ethos, right, and with community values. And I'm really the curator of the big tent that has a blank canvas in it. So I'm responsible to make sure that tent gets up, right, and the doors get open, and the canvas is there for people to paint or create or whatever they're going to do. So, I mean, again, it's an experiment, right? I think what we're hoping for is that the future of organizing for humans can be much more abundant. They can be less competitive. Yeah. They can be more fun. Like this notion that we have that work and life are like separate compartments is kind of wild. Yeah. Because I don't actually live that way at all. I mean, it's work-life integration for me.
That's a good point.
And even then, I just don't even see it as work-life integration anymore. That is completely abstracted away. It's just life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, okay. But again, we're trying to give people the space and a place to express their unique creativity in a way that's meaningful for them. So our job, my job, our board and our stewards' job is to keep that alive so that people can come and do their own innovations.
I love that. And it's like everyone has their own different passions, right? For example, I've been here for eight days. I've done almost 100 interviews, and I loved every single one of them because I'm getting to hear people's passions, what they love, why they're here, why they're excited about the space, and it's always different. How do you manage to get a team that is that diverse, that likes and enjoys doing so many different things?
Well, this is how you practice the network state. The network state is open and permissionless and diverse by nature. Humans are diverse by nature. The minute you get into where you try to like standardize what it means to be a Web3 community member, or even what regenerative means, right? Then I think you're trafficking in religion.
That's a good point.
Because dogma requires, or religions or whatever, even I mean, there's lots of varietals of religions, and a lot of them that aren't even religious. Like people who think, no, this is the way everything works, and they're so rigid in their thinking, and they're unwilling to even accept people into their lives that think differently. I think you're in a religion, whatever that is. Okay, so I think that's a very dangerous place to go with human creativity, because it stifles it instead of encourages it. If I'm told A, B, and C are true, but I don't ever challenge any of that, but I kind of feel being pulled into maybe some peripheral area of that. Let's say my parents said that art never makes any money. Okay. Well, I want to be an artist, low key, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to go, pursue that passion.
Yeah.
Because they said that. And why do I believe that? Because they said that. And it's not, I didn't explore it on my own. So we believe life should be a choose your own adventure. And in Web3, the tool set of Web3 is just a toolkit to help people realize that it is. And positive sum games can exist. And we don't have to compete over supposedly scarce resources.
Right.
Because in my opinion, I think that that's probably one of the biggest lies that we've been told and sold as children growing up in the last 75 years, is that somehow the world operates from scarcity, and I just don't think that it does.
I think the only scarce thing is people that don't quite understand something yet. For example, lack of devs. That's scarce, but we can all change that. We can just bring people together.
Show me the game incentive, I'll show you the outcome.
Yeah.
Why don't we have enough devs? We don't incentivize them.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, sure, you can make a paycheck. You can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But do we really, really go out of our way to teach people the mindset of engineering?
That's the most important one. Obviously, we
The
don't.
mindset of creative expression? Do we teach people the mindset of, even game design and economics?
Yeah.
Right? Do we do that? Not really. We're very rigid and sterile how we go through textbooks, and here's the things you got to learn, and here's the thing, and check the boxes to get your degree, and then next thing you know, you've got a worthless piece of paper. And it's starting over, because you got to go out now and prove that you're even a valuable person.
That's so true. Yeah. I mean, I think a degree is just, a piece of paper that tells people that you were able to sit down for 4 years. That's about it.
Yeah.
I personally dropped out after a semester. I'm like, this is way too boring. Went to work for a Fortune 500 instead.
So what I did, a little bit different, but I got the hell out of college as quickly as I can by testing out of my entire freshman year, and then graduating in about 3 years, and then realizing that my accounting degree was completely useless to anything I really wanted to do, unless I wanted to sit in Vegas and casino cages and do night audits.
I don't think anybody likes that job.
No. I mean, you hate your life if you have that job. I mean, somebody's got to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe AI can do it in the future. Just abstract that bullshit away from people. But I don't know. I don't think that the game education, early life, is designed to encourage people to express on a blank canvas.
Yeah.
I think, and define who they are.
Yeah.
We try to put them into a lane that makes them, quote unquote, productive for society. But is it really who they are? I don't think so.
Right. Almost working
Not
against the
necessarily.
grain.
It's not a blanket thing.
Sure.
I'm not going to say that dogmatically either. I'm just going to say that generally the rule is people, when I look around, they don't really know who they are, and I that's not a judgment. I'm not even taking moral ground on that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think people, they're lost. They don't know.
I agree.
They don't know who they are to then be able to contribute to the larger canvas.
But I can't tell you how many people are finding themselves here at ETHDenver.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
personally, I'm having trouble sleeping because we're up until 2 a.m. not doing anything crazy, literally talking, having conversations, talking about what we like, what we don't like, what could be done better, what direction we're going to go in this Web3 space. So there's a lot to learn, a lot to grow amongst other people.
There's more to do here than you could do 24 hours a day for 4 weeks. For 2 months.
And I'm proof of that. I'm sleeping as little as possible, trying to get as much done as possible, and I'm still missing out on so many things.
I agree.
So I got to come back next year.
I mean, look, I organized this thing, and I absolutely, categorically cannot keep up with 98% of what's going on here. I have no control over any of it. None. So anybody who thinks I'm some, master magician controlling things or whatever, it's just not true. Like I don't want to. We don't. It's not the point.
Yeah.
This is an exercise of free expression and creativity, and however that looks for you.
Yeah.
It could be coding. It could be art. It could be building governance models, tokenomics models. It could be just socializing and networking if that's your version of you. We don't care.
No, I love that. Yeah, people think you're like the puppet master behind things. Like, no, Pinocchio's running around, guys. Yeah. Like that is way, way out of,
Give me
character.
Way too much credit. I don't have anywhere near that kind of power, nor do I want it. That's not the point.
Well, I think that's why this place is where it's at.
I'm a steward and curator. I have a responsibility to protect the ethos, to create some level of rules of engagement around the DAO, to help execute on operational things and make sure that the experience of the event is as good as we can make it around the ethos of what we do. But other than that, it's not up to me.
All right, so I got to ask a few questions for the people that really want to understand a couple of things here. Who should be a board member for the DAO?
Who?
Yeah.
I don't care. When I vote, what I care about is that whoever it is cares deeply about the success of this experiment. It's not about one particular outcome. It's an open mind to this blank tent or this big tent blank canvas that we have that is very delicate and precious to the community. So I look for integrity. I look for character of stewardship. Mm-hmm. Are they you call it servant leaders?
Yeah.
Are they? Not that I think servant leadership gets a bad description sometimes because it somehow comes off as like, well, it's only about giving to the community. No, it's mutual. Mutuality is important. We give and receive at the same time. I think we look for sincerity.
Yeah, it's the heart behind it, right?
Yeah.
It's like that's what I like to approach anything. Like it doesn't matter if it's my company or somebody else's company. If I'm doing a job, I'm going to treat it as if it was my own. I'm going to treat it like I need to make sure it succeeds.
We don't have any investors, by the way, so we're completely self-funded.
I'm trying to get a hold of some spork, man.
I know. Well, we're gonna probably a little drip maybe. We're working on trying to figure out how to set up markets.
Yeah.
In a non-overly degen way.
Yeah.
To help create sustainability for the DAO. Give those who are interested in increasing their stake in the community, without having to wait 20 years to do it, or contribute every year, because it is hard to get, right now it's really hard to get signal, and if you want to be a more active voice, it's hard to do it. But yeah, we're working on all of that.
Yeah, and I would say get involved. Like that's the main thing. Like start talking to people in the community. This is an incredible.
Well, I think it could start before you even want to be on the board. I mean, you could just volunteer for stewardship or take a seasonal contract or contribute. Yeah, we have people that make things for us without us asking. And they say, "Hey, I made this buffacorn game.
I love it.
What do you think of this?" And we're like, "That's so amazing!" And we're like, "Hey, do you want to showcase that at ETHDenver?"
That's awesome.
And they didn't come to us and say, "Hey, I could make a game.
Yeah.
Will you pay me to do that?"
Yeah.
So we look for these kind of cues, these social cues. We want to include people who are willing to just, express themselves, lay it out there, build cool shit, And I mean, we'll give them the stage.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Like I started by just hosting spaces through Genzio, and all of a sudden, like I don't want to just do that. I want to do more. Like let me go ahead and get
fun,
NFTs.
right?
Of course, it's an incredible community, and like you said, the diversity of the community is so great that I don't think I've spoken to this to the people about the same exact thing once, and I've done about 100 interviews, like I said.
No, because if you go to a Bitcoin conference, which by the way, I own Bitcoin. I mean, I am a Bitcoiner. I would even say I was a Bitcoiner first, but I'm not a one coin maxi.
Sure.
You go to a Bitcoin conference, you hear the same 5 narratives. Sound money, digital gold, peer-to-peer cashless transactions, whatever. Okay.
In this space is the opposite. It's literally let's push the envelope.
It's pretty homogenous, honestly, and that's okay. I think Bitcoin has a use case. I'm just not sure I see a reason to have conferences around it. Because to me, that just seems like, well, what are we talking about?
Right.
I already know what it is. I mean, maybe it's networking, which is fine. But I don't know. I like the concept of a hackathon first community event, which is what we do. So the Biddle-a-thon, as we call it, is the reason why we're here. It wrapped up this morning, so we're actually judging these projects right now as we speak, and I think it's a huge opportunity when you talk about incentivizing productivity, and lots of instead of lots of talkie, it's more walkie.
I love that. So John, how would you invite somebody, and who would you invite out to ETHDenver? Just look right there and tell them, like, come out, make sure you're not missing out on 2026.
Yeah, well, come. If you're shy, don't worry about it. We all are. Everybody's sort of doing YOLOing. If you have an idea but you don't have a team, we have Camp Biddle. Go meet people. Build a team. 40% of our people come alone. Just take the leap. Come. It's too expensive. It's free to attend. Get your butt to Denver. You can get in for free. And you can meet some of the most wonderful, creative people literally in the world. Yeah. Around this future, this is not a tech movement. This is a social movement using tech tools. So if you're interested in improving humanity and seeing what other people have to say on the subject and how they're trying to do that, I can't imagine anything more productive and better for you to do than to come to ETHDenver 2026.
I love it. And there's room for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're a builder, if you're a marketer, if you're trying to lead a team, you will find your place here.
If you're just curious.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of people here are brand new.
50% of the attendees are normally brand new, right?
They don't know anything. It's not a prerequisite to know anything about this to come. You don't need to know anything. You don't need to know anyone. Yeah. You can just come completely blank canvas and just go.
I love that. John, thank you so much. I don't want to take too much of your time because I'm sure you haven't been sleeping or eating during this week, so
I gotta
take care of yourself.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.